Hello. I'm sure you see the title of this video, but I want to give you some background. So I found a video that I had made specifically for YouTube, which I'm trying to remember what I was watching on YouTube in 2013, 2014. It had to be like Catty-tastic because that was pretty much all I watched. But I filmed a YouTube video. I was 25 years old and it was insane, like opening a time capsule. This stage in life was really difficult for me. I would say from ages, well, 0 to 28 really, but from ages like 22 to 27 were really difficult for me, and I was just at a low point in my life. I was very self-conscious. I thought I was overweight. I got really into like trying to lose weight. I also have a lot of pictures that I found on this computer of just like constant progress pictures of, and I would beat myself up over them, and now I'm looking at them like I wish I could look like this. But when I watched the video, I felt really emotional for a couple reasons. So one, I felt bad for that 25-year-old woman. I was in grad school and teaching full-time, and I had a really tough year. Just really difficult students. I loved them, but they were just difficult, like they are sometimes, and it was a really stressful year, and I was having, you know, like other issues that everyone has, like relationship issues. There was just a lot going on that year, and all I could think about was how much I wanted to write, and I think that came across in the video that I just wasn't getting to write like I am now. So I feel bad for her, but I also am really happy, and I wish I could tell her how much she is going to accomplish in the future. Even though I'm not published yet, I feel like I've written so much, and I've gotten to a point where I feel like I'm more confident that this is going to be my career path than ever, and I just wish I could tell her. I wish I could tell her to stop worrying about her body and just enjoy life and like just get outside of that. I remember that condo that we were in. I was in the second bedroom. We had 2 bedrooms, and we had like nothing in that second bedroom except for the desk and my computer, and that's where I would write. I wish she knew how much better it was gonna get. And I wish she knew about Jeb. Those make me emotional. But I'm gonna include the video. It's not a bad video. There are some points that I've always believed in that I wanted to share. And so I'll include it at the end of this little spiel. But yeah, I think it's a good reminder that things do get better. Like, I felt like I was so old at that point. I was 25 years old, and I felt like I had already wasted so much time, and I was wasting so much time like working full-time, going to grad school, doing all that. But it worked out. It is working out right now. I feel like now is the time that everything's kind of falling into place, and it's only 4 years later. So it's a good reminder that if you just keep working, things do get better, things do get easier. It does take a lot of effort. I feel like I'm still working really hard at becoming a better writer, but I'm so much better than I was at that point. I remember that story that I mentioned in the video, and it went nowhere because I over outlined it. So that was a huge lesson to me. But I'm gonna stop ranting. I'm going to include the video. It's just an interesting look back at who I was at that time, because really there weren't many, I don't think I had very many videos of my life really until I started documenting things for my son and for YouTube. So I hope you enjoy seeing 25-year-old me. I did film a makeup and writing tag like I mentioned, so that will be up hopefully soon. I do have to use this computer, and the version of iMovie is a lot older. So we'll see if it even like exports a video. I don't know. But I'm gonna stop talking. Here's the video. Hello, my name is Jessica, and I'm here to talk to you about writing inspiration. So I'm someone who is inspired often. Like today at work, I saw a boy defending himself to a girl who's notoriously mean, and he just had had enough. And it reminded me of my time in high school because I was shy and I let people run over me and I let the mean girls affect me. So I instantly thought of a story. This girl who spoke so clearly to me about how she was so fed up. She had just had the worst day of her life, and she realized she was letting people run all over her. And if this continued, she wasn't gonna live the life that she wanted to lead. And so she devises a plan to kind of like change the status quo through a series of attacks, kind of like a war on the stereotypical high school experience. And I got really excited about it, but the problem is I'm working on another story right now, and I promised myself that I was going to finish this story by the end of March. I had a similar experience with inspiration with this story as well, this one that I'm working on now. I went to a food truck park and I saw how the food truck owners communicated with each other, and I saw some of their relationships, and it instantly struck me that this would be a great story. But when I finished outlining it and I started writing it, I realized there were so many decisions left to make. And it was difficult, and I got stuck because I didn't even know what tense I was going to write it in. I planned out the entire story chapter by chapter and was sure that this was going to be easier than times when I haven't outlined, but it turns out it wasn't. So I started thinking about what was causing this. Is it because I'm too excited about it and I don't really think about the amount of work that it's going to take, and then when I start writing it I realize there are so many things left unplanned that I have to decide? Or do I just not have the time? Am I not able to do this because I'm so overwhelmed in other areas of my life, and how am I going to fix that? And then I decided something. I decided that I want to write. And this is something that I've known for a long time, but I've let my everyday life kind of rule over my mind because I feel like it's here, it's now, I have it, I need to be in it, but it's not what I ultimately want to do. So, writing is hard work. It's difficult. It makes you realize so many things about yourself that you might not want to know or are difficult to deal with. Writing makes you understand what your weaknesses are, but it wouldn't be worth doing if it didn't require hard work. And if it didn't require hard work, everyone would be doing it. So, don't let inspiration slip through your fingers. Don't get to that point where you realize you have notebooks and notebooks full of ideas and no manuscript. So make sure you're writing these ideas down that you are struck with inspiration about. But also remember, an idea is not what makes a novel. What makes a novel is the words strung together into sentences, into paragraphs, into passages that fill readers' minds with images of places and characters and emotions. This is what makes a novel. An idea might grab a reader's attention and make them pick up the book, but what's in the book is going to make a reader pass it on to their friend, and that's what all authors strive for, that their book is one that people are talking about and passing on. So I'm going to grab this inspiration while I have it, and I'm going to write, whether it be a few scenes or a crappy first draft, at least I'm writing, right? I guess that means I'm off to write.